We are so used to rationalize money, to think about money in a certain way. There's A, B, C, right? You have to work for something, and then there's salary being paid that comes to your bank account, and with that money you pay your things in life. And then the idea is, if I spend it, my bank account becomes less. It is a very rational way of thinking. It's a very space and time way of thinking. It's a very matrix way of thinking about money. But what if there is other ways to generate money, to have money, to have a relationship with money? Today I really want to dive into that. So many of us starseeds are dealing with money in a way that is so of this earth. You might come from places where money was not an issue, and even if there is, you can go about it in such different ways. So I want to talk about how to go about it in a more fifth dimensional way of perceiving money, attracting money, having money, being with money, your relationship with money. Very important. And there's not much that you have to do. And that's interesting. There's always a lot that we think we have to do and overcome and get rid of the way that we have been brought up. Because in my family, for example, they talked about very negative about money, or there was always not enough, or so I've taken that on. And Alice, it's so hard to let go of that. It's old stories, and you're still clinging on to that because somehow you think that serves you. Okay, and then I'm not just going to say you drop it and let go of it. We're going to go way deeper in it. I'm saying that because I know that's what's going to happen, although I don't know how. And I have let go of the how because I know that my higher self, or whoever comes in, or whatever part of me is speaking here, has the answer. But now at this moment with my mind, and this is going to apply for money the same way. Now at this moment with my rational mind, I have no clue. And I could stress out and first think, let me prepare and write a few points down, and nah. Then is my human mind at work. I don't want to operate from there, so I'm not. So I'm just jumping in the deep with you and seeing how this comes about. All right, just give me a moment to sink in. To go to that space that not my human is so busy talking, but a higher consciousness, my higher consciousness, a higher consciousness can speak through me. And you might have heard me talking a lot about, I like lately the word living from a place of, and that's what I do, right? I help people to get to living in a place, in a reality, in your life, where your higher self, your soul, your oversoul, whatever you want to call it, your light, coming into your life and bursting into your life. So that all facets of your life, all aspects of your life, your love life, your finances, your the things that you do, the projects that you have, the work that you do, the place that you live, the way you relate to people, and whatever more, all aspects of your life are fulfilled, are full of light, are full of that higher expression of you. And all we need to do as a human is just getting out of the way, thinking that we need to figure it out, thinking that we need to do things in order for them to show up. It's so matrix. It is so old school. I'm saying this with really love and compassion, but also it is the old way of functioning, and there are such better ways, and I'm just going to offer you something here that is just one of the many, I suppose. I'm pausing in between now and then to really connect fully and get my human out of the way. So bear with me. Money. Beautiful, loving money. Often we think of money in As I just said, we often think of money as if something goes out, I have less. And as something more goes out, I have even less. You see, it shows on my phone. It shows now I have that and then I have that because I spend that. There is proof. So that must be it. That must be how it works. Let's park money for a moment. Maybe you're in the state that you can, I hope for you, that you can manifest a parking space. That you have, whatever way you do it, parking angels, that you ask in advance, please organize for me that there is this parking space there and there where I'm on my way to going. And lo and behold, there is always that parking space for you. It is easy, and you might already use, I know a lot of people find that easy to do. Because you can think with your rational mind, it just could have been someone who just left that space and then that space is open and then it's my space. Somehow I can logically think about that and it makes kind of sense. And it's kind of good karma or something, whatever it is that makes that happen, or those parking angels or whatever you need for you to believe that that is possible for you to create. And that feels easy. Now for me, that is indeed an easy one. And then the easy one is to manifest houses. And manifest is the wrong word. For me to trust and get out of the way, I'm not doing anything, it just comes to me. The houses just come because I have seen so much evidence in my life, because I've moved so many times as a kid with my family, moving to different places within my country and to Canada for a bit in the Rocky Mountains. And then in my adult life, I moved around to the Middle East, Africa, and because of the refugee work that I did, and later because I just like to move places. And since I'm working online, having my all that I do is online nowadays, no problem, I can move wherever. Coming back, so I have a lot of houses that I need to find, and I don't just want to live in a house, I want to live in the perfect house each and every time. And I know that's always going to come because I have all that proof in the past that I just allow it to come to me. I had, short story, I was living in Mallorca and I had to leave the house where I lived in on a bigger plot with two beautiful Italian ladies. And I had to leave in 2 weeks and then a week, and I still hadn't found anything. But I wasn't taking a lot of action, just guided action. And I had a hammock in my garden, and they would always pass when they take out the dogs or when they do things in the garden, they mow the grass or whatever. And in that week before, they see me every time they pass by, they see me hanging in that hammock, laying in that hammock and thinking, why is he not taking action? And always couldn't resist them asking, how's it going with the house? I say, it's coming. They're like, do you have it already? Not yet, but it's coming. They're like, okay. I was working hard, but just when I have a break, I used to always lay in my hammock. And I remember that easiness, and sometimes felt like, oh, that must be so frustrating for them, or so difficult. I admire them for still being in peace. Well, they weren't, they were really stressed, but somehow not to convey that to me. And I just expected that to come. And it did. It's a long story, but it just fell in my lap. So all the houses have really just kind of fell in my lap. Sometimes I went out to do things, but in the end, the doing was never what got me the house. The house always came the easiest way. So for me, that is easy. What do you have that is easy to come in? Because with money, somehow that never feels easy. If you don't have money issues, you might not watching this, and maybe it is for you. For me, money always comes in easy. So at the moment, there is a bit of a transition time of it having been easy, and now at a point like, oh, that doesn't go as easy as I thought it was, but it's just my mind, because it's still easy. Once I start to think I can't have it anymore so easy, then that is what I create in my reality. Because how we believe your reality, how we believe we create our reality, is how we create our reality. So with the parking space, it is easy to believe, oh yes, they're parking angels. And maybe they are, maybe they're not, I don't know. There are parking angels that orchestrate that for me. Great. Well, let's then talk to the money angels that orchestrates that for you. But I don't know about money angels. Well, I'm sure they are there. There's parking angels, there's money angels, and there might be none of it. It doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, whatever makes you feel that you can let go of taking control over it, and that you can just allow it to come through. Okay, we're going to go deeper into this than just this. And again, I have no idea how. I just feel that is what we're going to do. Letting go of the how, letting go of you figuring out, letting go of you thinking I need to instruct those money angels so that they do the right thing. I need to tell them I need A, B, C, D, and that's how it needs to look like. No. No. If someone is doing something for you, I always come back to that same example. If you order food in the restaurant, you're not going to the kitchen and instruct the cook how exactly to make your food. You know, the cook know what it is doing. You trust it. You fully surrender. You talk to your friend, or you're on your own and you're having your thoughts, or whatever you do. You fully allow it. You fully surrender. You're not going in its way. Because when you would go in its way, when you would go to the kitchen, you're going to mess this thing up. You might have an angry cook and it's like, get out of my restaurant. What are you doing here? Or it gets so... Anyway, let's not go further into... You know what I mean. My mind is already running 10 other scenarios there. You know what I mean, right? You're not going to mingle in it. So, you're getting the picture. But somehow for money, that feels different. So let me say another thing about that. Yeah, if we order in a restaurant, you can say, but I ordered it. If I ask my angels to get me that parking spot, I ordered it. I did something, right? We like that as human, to do something. Okay. So why don't we do the doing part when it comes to money? Is the doing is, I just want to have plenty of it. I have plenty of it. I have plenty of it. If you order a meal of a restaurant, you know I'm having a meal. Okay, with a bit of delay because the cook is still making it, but I'm having that meal. Or you can say I'm going to have that meal, but can we say I'm having that meal? You can already in your mind have a watery mouth when you think about it. Your body is already, when you order it, right? I'm having it now because I'm thinking of nice food. You might have a watery mouth. Your body is already eating it. It's ready, right? Can we just say the house, the same with the houses, I was not living there yet, I haven't seen it yet, but I know that house is already there for me. All I need to do, that needs to happen, is that connection to it. So I see it. But I know the house is there. I know the food is there. I know the parking space is there. And I know the money is there. Lots of it. Why not? I know the money is there. I'm not an expert when it comes to money. What am I an expert in? I'm an expert in making your life flow, making you, bringing you back to your light and all that you are, and bringing that into your life so you start functioning from your light. What we're doing here, that is what I work with, that is what I do. This is just a facet, this is just an element of it. And because this is so often an issue with people, I want to address that. But this is not what I normally focus on a lot, because it's just part of everything that I do with people. I like to zoom in this one today. The other day someone said, we did a 5-day journey, and I'm going to do them regular. I love them. A free 5-day journey. You find a link to that here. Where we really go from the matrix, living in the matrix, living in the limitation, to more and more living in your highest excitement, or living in your highest timeline in alignment with your highest self. Someone said there, Alice, I applied what you said, just being it and getting out of the way. And I needed money. I wasn't thinking about it, but I knew I needed something that I didn't have in logic sense of the way I believe things go, but I let go of it. And it just appeared out of nowhere. Someone that she worked with gave her the money for something, or I think it was even an extra, like, I really love that you did, and I'm giving you something extra for it. What? Out of the blue. Because she got out of the way. And it's again not manifestation. It is not that you need to focus on what you want and how you want it. And it is about getting all out of the way, thinking that you need to do something to get something. That when you spend money, your bank account becomes less. Because you can just go to the space of there's plenty. There's always plenty. I'm always being provided, no matter what. And again, I want to drop that one in. Everything that happens in my life is for me, on my behalf, and to my benefit. Whatever happens in my life. So, money, you loving money, you having plenty of money, if that is what you prefer, and you might want to put a number in it, that is okay. If that makes it easier, you might imagine that empty parking space. You might like to imagine that food being brought on your table. You might like to imagine the house that you want to live in, without expecting it to be exactly like that, but maybe you like to imagine that. If that makes it easier, then imagine that 1.6 million amount of money being available to you. You don't decide that is being on your one bank account, just being available to you. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't need to be on that one bank account. It might be someone giving you something. It might be you did something with crypto, forgot about it or not, and that's coming from there. Or it might be from that bank account, or it might be something that you absolutely forgotten about. Or it might be an heritage. It doesn't matter. Or you're winning the lottery. It doesn't matter. You don't need to know. You don't have to decide and where it all comes to. It is not important that you know how. You ordered it, you want that, you put it out as an intention, and so it is. And now I'm observing it. Not like an active doing. I need to, like you order in a restaurant, you don't need to think of, and I need to keep thinking about the food coming, otherwise it doesn't come. It's ridiculous. Of course it is there. It's being prepared. And soon you're going to see that on your table. It is there. You're eating. Right? And how fast that goes or how long that takes, it doesn't matter. It's already being prepared. It's already there for you. It is there. That's a good one. You might drive to the parking place, and while you drive, it might still be occupied. It doesn't matter, because by the time you come there, it will be ready for you. It will be empty. It's precisely there where you need to be. I don't want you to think it needs to come one specific way. There will be space for you. There will be beautiful food for you. There will be plenty of money for you. Go there. It's already there. And you might not, you're on the way, you might not see the parking lot empty because it's there and not here because you're still driving to it. but you know it's there. So you might not see it on your bank account. You might not feel it in your hands. You might not see evidence of it yet, but you know it's there because you're going towards it. Love that. So all you need to do is stop doing anything about it. You just put that intention out. I want an empty parking space. I want that food. I want a lot of money. Plenty of money. Maybe, I don't know where that number came up. 1.6 million. And however that comes to me, I don't know. And I don't need to know. So drop that. And whenever the thought comes in, but my bank account shows, think about, you look at the food at the table, but my food is not there yet. No, but you know it's being made. You know the parking space is coming. You know the house is coming, although you have no idea yet. I think eventually that Mallorca story, when I was laying in my hammock, I think 3 days before I had to empty the house. That's why they were so stressed, because I had to empty because they were selling it. And on that last day, the person would come and sign, and they would not sign it if I would still live there. So I found the house 3 days before that date. And then I was like, I had all my stuff with me. I didn't really organize a truck yet. But when I was talking with the owner and we were signing for the new house, signing the contract, I asked him, hey, by the way, you need to move out. So, because he still had some stuff there that I didn't want because I came with all my stuff. I said, do you know someone that has a truck? Oh yeah, I'm working with this such and so. Called them, it was organized. So easy. And you would think, but why didn't you organize it before? I don't know. Because there was no house yet and it didn't come to mind. I thought it will sort itself out somehow. And it did. But I did ask the guy, right? I don't go sit on the couch and wait to come. There was that impulse like, oh, maybe you know. Oh. And how everything just unfolds. Because I'm not like, and I had such thoughts, how am I going to organize a truck? Whatever. So there is money that you need. How am I going to organize? My human wants to say, if you're not in that state of allowing and you have bills to pay, I don't want you to come and get into trouble. Pay those bills first, right? Start playing with this, start using it, start going in it, start living this, start breathing this. But if you feel, I can't fully be that, like you then do it the old way until you feel relaxed because you don't have something to be paid in 2 days, and then do it then, whatever feels good, right? The same thing. If I go to that parking space and I think that parking angels don't exist and actually this whole thing doesn't work, I go look for a parking space. And if my mind thinks it is impossible at this location, this festival, this shopping mall to find parking, then I'm going to drive around, look around until I might find one further away or whatever. And that's then the reality, which is fine. But maybe next time I just get out of the way and allow that to happen. Now, one last thing I want to say, I said in the beginning, I'm all about helping people, or most starseeds, which are people who had most of their lives outside of planet Earth. I help them to shine more, get connected, feel your light, feel all that you are, that higher consciousness bursting into your life. And this is just one element of it. You do that by getting out of the way, by trusting it, by allowing it. And it goes for all facets of your life. You don't need to focus on now specific money, or you don't need to think yourself into it, active manifestation. You can, if that feels comfortable, if that feels better for you and easier for you, do that. Whatever feels the easiest, the most exciting, the most best way things work for you, do that. I'm just offering you one that you can maybe add with it or change into or contemplate first or try it out with maybe smaller things because that's easier for you. So now you know. Ask your parking angels to organize your parking and then get the hell out of the way. Don't think, you can think about it, but just think about your empty parking spot. You don't need to think about it to make it happen, as you don't need to think about the food to assure that that's on your table. Okay, and I think with that we conclude, because it's absolutely clear that this is a different way of going through life, right? This is a different way of going about life. That things can just come to you. You're just sitting still, because normally we need to move to get things organized. You're just sitting still and you act on your excitement. You act on those impulses. And it's easier to hear them, to notice them, to feel them when you're quiet. And it could be meditation, but I just mean that you don't have to hassle and be so busy with it. Just in that space of beingness. Beautiful being. If this is something you like, I really want to ask you to give it a thumbs up, to subscribe to the channel, and let me know how that landed for you. I'm absolutely curious in the comments, so more people can start seeing this, the algorithm. Thank you for that. I send you much, much, much love, and I'm really looking forward to connect with you next time. Bye-bye.